It's been a wild ride, actually. I've been working on this SaaS application for quite some time now. It's been like 4 months. Yeah, it's been probably 4 months. I started working on this in September, at the end of September, probably. Maybe in November. I don't even know. But the thing is, it's been a while, and we made a lot of changes. Primarily, I was trying to validate my own hypotheses on how would this actually work out, built on Next.js, and how would people, aside from me, actually use this in a real world scenario. The fact is that there are a ton of applications like that, where the primary focus is building websites, building sites, landing pages, and whatnot. Well, you will see it's Webflow, it's WordPress, it's Relium, Framer. I mean, there are a ton of wannabe website builders out there, and there are a handful of big players in the market. And that means that you probably, well, not probably, I mean, it literally means you cannot really compete with them as a solo developer, solo indie hacker, if you can call me like that, but I don't even know. I'm just a small, tiny fish, but yeah. I'm building something that is meant for building websites, building sites, building landing pages. And yeah, it's been quite a ride, actually. I've been on and off working on this application for the past, let's say, 3 or 4 months. And it's been a wild ride. Mainly because of this thing that lives inside. I mean, I have this, I would say it's an advantage actually, but I do have the time, I do have the finances to support myself while I'm actually working pretty much full time coding this thing. And it's not just coding, it's researching, it's coding, it's picking the right tech stack, refactoring, making a ton of mistakes. And all of this is actually getting into your brain. And this tiny little gremlin, this tiny little lizard, monkey brain, whatever thing inside of your head is constantly yapping. Yeah, you'll fail. I mean, there is a ton of competition out there. You'll fail. I mean, oh yeah. Yeah, it is kind of annoying. It's not, yeah, well, it's not kind of annoying. It is really annoying. It makes you anxious, makes you stressed. I mean, you like this thing so much that you get obsessed over it. You think about it day and night. You cannot properly sleep because you're thinking, oh, I'm gonna create this new function, this will do that, this will do this, and this will, make things happen. But the reality of it is, you need to release an MVP, you need to release something that is not perfect. But the perfectionist in you, in me, is, well, actually trying to sabotage you, essentially. If you want to release something perfect, especially as a solo founder, especially as a solo developer, you will probably never release that thing. Because the perfectionist inside of you will say that it's never perfect and you still need to put in that 10-20% extra effort just to make something look neat, something that will not bring any additional value to you, to the project, or to the end user. And yeah, it's been a wild ride. I mean, I've been struggling for the last month with some mental issues, mainly because of the burnout, because you're just working relentlessly day in, day out. Not to mention over the weekends, you're spending less and less time with your family, with your friends, just to build something. And the funny thing is, you don't actually know if it's going to succeed, if people will actually need it, if they are going to use it, if it's going to bring in you any amount of money, because you have to be sincere with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself. You're essentially doing this for money. You want to attract somebody. You wouldn't be doing this for free. You would be doing something else, like working a 9 to 5 that pays you probably even more than what this thing could actually make you. But I don't know. Yeah, so that's it for the yapping. So let's talk about the progress and the issues I faced during those last few months. I started with picking up the nicest UI library for a project that doesn't really need one at this moment. And I spent some time actually putting things together. Yeah. And that library was called NextUI. So I mean, we could take a look at this. So this is the old thing. So let's go and look at NextUI. So I started with using NextUI because they have a kick-ass landing page. I mean, floaty things, who doesn't love floaty things? I mean, it's spinning, it's floating. It even has the colors I like, which is, I mean, I could be colorblind, and I'm a man, so I cannot tell colors, but it's violet or purple or something between the lines of those. But anyway, yeah, they have a pretty good landing page. They have customizable components, but the thing is, they are quite heavy. And you have to wrap your application in a provider. And for a heavy application like a website builder, this was actually taking a ton of performance hits, and it wasn't looking that good. I mean, this is the old version of what you see on the screen. It looks okay. The drop downs have these fancy animations. The button clicks have those fancy animations, and it looks pretty okay. But I was not okay with the way this response to inputs feels oddly slow, yeah, and the styling of this is not to my liking. Actually, it doesn't fit the builder aesthetics, the builder look. So I had to actually go ahead and migrate to a new library, which probably you probably know already what it is, but I'll keep you in the loop for a little bit. This was the old look, and I'm looking at this, and I can already tell I've come a long way. I mean, look at that. It was looking awful. And I can't believe I would have released this thing out into the public. I mean, it was part of the build in public thing, but this is looking a bit disastrous from the perspective of UI and user experience. Does NextUI offers? It actually offers you a Next.js integration, and I'm building this thing on Next.js. It offers theming. I could have spent some time theming these components, but they still didn't fit my purpose. It looks too clean. It looks too subdued and too squishy. Kind of feels too squishy for my liking, especially for a builder that has to be snappy, has to respond quickly to an input, and I just can't afford waiting for this thing to yoink out and yoink in. They do have quite a variety of components, which are kinda spongy and squishy. And when Shadcn, this is the new library I'm using, dropped an update that they have new components, I just couldn't resist and go take a look at them. They still have animations, but they are faster, they're snappier. You don't have to wrap your application in a provider, which reduces the overhead, and you can use more resources for just writing out JavaScript spaghetti code that will eat up your memory. Shadcn, on the other hand, gives you just components that you can install if you need them, so you don't have to bring a ton of unused things like with NextUI. Shadcn, if you just need a button from Shadcn, that's it. You can just have a button. That's it. No questions asked. And what blew me away was this command thing. And that I'm using extensively is basically the primary thing on how to add components into the new and updated builder. Yeah, this was Relium. In no way can I compete with them as a solo founder. And this is a huge issue with being a developer, being an indie hacker, being a solo founder, is that you have to accept the fact that you will not be better than those established large corporations. That you will be a tiny fish in a huge sea, a vast sea of opportunities and options, essentially. So it is on you on how you position your, so to say, proprietary application. It's on you. I mean, you could use your personality to position your service, an application. It could be that you are providing something in a different way. Like maybe the pricing is cheaper. Maybe you're just focusing on smaller businesses, smaller creators, smaller groups of people, while those huge corporations are actually focused on the enterprise level. You're essentially looking at a huge time gap where you are a solo founder and you're comparing yourself to a company that has been established for 5 to 6 to 10 years, and they have a huge loads of people, huge teams helping them, while you're here scribbling away at whatever you're just doing alone, a single person. It's not a healthy comparison by any means. In some cases, I like the sponginess. I mean, it's smooth and gradual, but for the thing that you want to build, like this thing, it just doesn't work, at least for me. So let's have a look at the main branch. Yeah, can we stash and quit? Why? Okay, so we describe the changes. Let's check out to the main branch. Let's run npm install. Boom. There we go. Did it refresh? Probably not. Restart this and actually give you a look around the new application. Yeah, don't mind the initial look. I mean, this is going to be styled differently. It's gonna have tables probably, but anyway. Okay, and let's go for the alias, which I love. Let's click edit, and we should have something inside. Yeah, this is an interesting way to do stuff. This is how the main application looks like with Shadcn, and you can click on things. Yeah, you can toggle the grid view on and off, which is a new feature. The whole sidebar, and I love this scroll area they have, which NextUI does not have a scroll area, which was another winning factor for me. Why should I pick Shadcn? And the sidebar looks crisp. I mean, you can have different scroll areas, so one area for the sidebar, one area for the main canvas. All of the inputs, all of the buttons, they just, I don't know, it's probably just me, but it feels right. It's snappy. You don't have to wait like 2 seconds or something for an animation to finish. And it just works. I mean, here we go. And I enjoy working with Shadcn because you basically own the components. You can style them the way you want it. And the main feature of this website builder is that you can have sets, different component sets. So let's say you will have by default 30 primitive components, images, buttons, videos, sections, divs, blocks, whatever. And each set can have a different style, and a template can use whatever set of components you throw at it, basically. So if you have 5 sets of components and you have 10 templates, you can essentially have 50 different looks. Throw in a color schema, which could be a custom color schema. I want to go ahead and go with Daisy UI. Daisy UI's color schemas, because they make so much sense. This would be lovely actually to have somewhere at the header to choose a color schema, and it paints the whole thing for you. It handles the primary, secondary, tertiary, whatever colors for you. You don't have to worry about that. My main goal is to build a tool that allows small companies or small businesses, small creators, to just focus on building their online presence, and a website builder is one of them. I could have actually a whole array of things, so SEO, website performance, lead generation, and this could be all included into the same pack. This is looking great at the moment, and I have a full list of things that I need to actually do before releasing. So I mean, it's a huge ass list. We can already create a site, we can update it, and we need to do something about inserting custom HTML, custom CSS. In a way, you can actually do that. I mean, we could put in a. Alright, I need to actually update PNPM components register the database with new components. There we go. Okay, let's refresh, and we should have new components. So we have custom HTML, and this command thing is why I love Shadcn. It just works. You just click it, you have custom HTML, and you probably pretty much can put whatever inside, whatever you want inside. Sadly, it doesn't work with Tailwind components at the moment, but it's not a primary thing to get this thing actually rolling. There is still a ton left to do, and yeah, just trying to make these things work the way they should work. It's gonna be an interesting journey. I'm still struggling to find what an MVP should include in this. Although I have a checklist, I want to expand on it, but this is a huge issue with being a solo founder, solo developer, that you have to abide by your own constraints and not to give in into the perfectionist monkey brain that you want to build the best thing possible when you just need to have the basic functionality, just roll with it. I mean, you can collect data, you can collect stuff, you will collect more data and stuff when you release the thing. So this is what I'm struggling with right now, and it's a big pain in the rear to deal with, and it's annoying. I mean, kind of like the new layer system, actually. It makes things easier. I mean, it's kind of like Figma inspired. I want to build something that actually provides value, and it's not purely AI based or AI driven. Love the progress, love the Shadcn library. It's been a blast. I mean, I took like a week to actually migrate to a new library, and it's looking pretty good. If you enjoyed watching this and you want more content like this, just leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, there will be more improvements to the video, to editing, to my voice quality, I believe so. There are some things coming where I will make a video on how I plan and walk you through a process of starting a whole new project from basically from scratch. And it's gonna be a crypto project, so it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I do believe that seeing how thoughts take shape and form in a type of software is actually pretty fun and pretty valuable. So, thanks for watching. Cheers.